gosh, am I really gonna do this with this puffy hair? Yes, I am. Hey there, I'm back from my cruise and I had so much fun, like so much fun. And this is my first cruise, as I mentioned, I think in my last video. I was excited, but skeptical, like cautiously optimistic maybe that it was going to be fantastic, but then maybe not. Maybe some of the horror stories about cruises were going to come true for me, God forbid. And it was fantastic. It was great from start to finish. The kids loved every minute of it. My husband, it was also his first cruise. He loved it too. We had a fantastic time and I stuck to my plan. I stuck to my goal of taking only 3 fragrances with me. So I'm going to reveal what those 3 fragrances were. It's not going to be any big surprise because I said what the contenders were basically in my last video. So I chose sort of 3 of those with one exception, which I'll get to in just a second. I'm going to announce the winner of the giveaway, and then I'm going to share with you 3 fragrances that I purchased on the cruise ship. Thank you all so much for those of you who left a comment and made recommendations for what to take on my cruise. I loved reading the comments and the recommendations and all the ideas. In my video, I mentioned that it would be interesting to know if I could buy a fragrance while I was on the ship, if that could be a souvenir that I could purchase. And somebody left a comment and said you definitely can buy fragrances on the ship, and you were correct. There is a whole duty-free shop on the ship. I did get fragrances and I'll share those with you. One is a brand new release. I didn't even know that this was out, but when they told me there was a new release, I had to have it. And so, well, I had to have it if I liked it, and I did like it, so I bought it. So I'm going to reveal those and unbox them in just a minute. But first, the 3 that I took with me. So the first, I ended up taking Aqua Allegoria Rosa Rosa. And recall, I wanted like an everyday, great for hot weather, no fuss, nothing to really think that hard about. That would still feel pretty and like nice. I ended up going with this one because I wanted a rose forward fragrance. I liked the floral. I liked the lightness of it. I liked that it doesn't last forever, but it's really pretty while it lasts without ever being too much. And I could definitely wear this in the heat or at any sort of day-to-day, daytime kind of thing. And there was a lot of that on the cruise. There was like, you wake up, you go to breakfast and you lounge by the pool, or you do this or whatever. You go out into port, and I didn't want to be too fancy and I didn't want to be overwhelming, but I wanted to smell nice. And this really fit the bill. And so I'm happy that I took this one, Guerlain Aqua Allegoria Rosa Rosa. The second one that I took is actually a little bit of a deviation from what I had mentioned in my video. So I ended up going with Delina Exclusive. And the reason I did this one instead of the other Delina, or the original Delina, is because I wanted something that could feel special, fancy night out, but that wasn't tropical. And the Exclusive flanker of Delina seemed to fit that task for me. And kind of just a really nice feminine. It is a rosy fragrance, but it's got a lot more going on. So I did not at all feel like this was like just a duplicate or a heavier version of the Guerlain fragrance. And I loved it. I wore this one actually a lot. I ended up wearing this a lot more than I originally planned. And that is because the third fragrance that I ended up going with was M. Micallef Ylang in Gold. This is a beautiful, coconutty, tropical, fancy vacation in a bottle, but very nice, very fancy vacation fragrance. I have no regrets about taking this in terms of the smell. In fact, I sort of in the back of my mind thought, this is definitely going to make the cut because I love it so much. And it's also new to my collection. It's not a new fragrance, but it's new for me. And so this was a great opportunity to wear it, something special. It was not until like night 3 that I sprayed this on as we were getting dressed up to go to dinner that for the first time ever, I realized this has gold glitter in it, like something gold sparkly, and it actually comes out of the bottle onto your skin. I'm going to see if I can show you without spraying myself in the face. It's not really clear. It kind of glistens in the light there. But what you might not be able to see is it's actually like a shimmery, glittery fragrance. Which is okay, but I intended to wear this to the fanciest occasions, but also at the fanciest occasions I was wearing the fanciest clothes, which were the most delicate, dry clean only, fussy clothes. So like on formal night, I wore a full gown, and not like a sequin gown or anything like that, but it was like it went down to the floor length gown, dry clean only. And I was like, if I spray this somewhere and it smudges onto my clothes, is it going to leave like glitter on them? Is it going to leave like an oily grease like slick stain? It made me nervous. And so once I discovered that, then I started only wearing this in the daytime or to occasions where I really wasn't that dressed up. So I was really glad that I had brought another fragrance that was a little dressier, a little night out appropriate, and didn't rely on this for all of those occasions. It ended up working out really well. I had this to feel special, to feel luxurious, to feel like I'm on vacation. It smells wonderful, and it gives a little gold shimmer here and there. Great. And then I had the Delina Exclusive for like date night, night out feeling, going out to dinner, fancy, more formal. I wouldn't think of Delina Exclusive as like a black tie event perfume, but it worked out great for my purposes. And then I had the Rosa Rosa for day-to-day anything. And that was the lineup. And so now I'm going to put here on the screen the name of, or the screen name, the username, the YouTube name of the person that I've selected for the giveaway. So thank you all for your comments. Congratulations to the winner. If this is you, please email me. My email address is in the description box, and we will arrange to get you your fragrance for the giveaway. For the fragrance haul, so on the ship, as I said, there was like a duty-free, there was a duty-free store, which is great. You don't pay taxes. Pretty good selection, almost all designer, sort of easy to find stuff. It's basically the stuff you'd find at a typical duty-free shop at an airport. But my purpose in buying it was for a souvenir. And they had enough selection for me to find something that I don't already have that maybe I had my eye on. And now I can buy it in this context and it feels extra special. So that's what I did. I didn't end up buying any fragrances from the local shops because they didn't have a much different selection than what I could buy on the ship. So I didn't see anything unique or local. And at least on the ship, I don't pay the taxes, and I know more or less the reputation of the place selling it. So I bought 3. The first is Victoria's Secret Bear, and I'm unboxing this, obviously, as we speak. It's not a blind buy. I smelled it right there as I bought it and walked around with it and came back. They also they had a fragrance sale. It wasn't much of a sale. I think it was like 10%, I think, off of fragrances. Maybe it was 20 on some. So it was a little bit of a discount, which is always nice. And they had it on, I think, the first night of the cruise. And I had smelled this one actually at another airport when I was traveling somewhere. And I was into it. I liked it. I was curious about it. I didn't end up buying it. I think I had already bought a fragrance on that trip, and I just, didn't want to go crazy. But when I saw this, and I knew that I liked it, and I knew that I wanted to have it, but had not bought it, I thought maybe this is the time. And it was a good price. This is now the only Victoria's Secret fragrance that I own. I did buy 2 others. I've had 2 other Victoria's Secret fragrances. I bought both of them in Beijing when I lived there, and I ended up giving away both of them. They weren't bad by the time I got them in the mix of the rest of my collection, because I didn't have my whole collection in Beijing, so they felt special at the time. When I got back, they just felt pretty mediocre. And here is the thing about China with fragrances. There were some local fragrances I could buy that were, the price, it was what it was. There were some designer fragrances that you can get elsewhere that are not made in China that were very expensive, like at a department store. And I could compare. So I could go to like the Chanel counter or the Guerlain counter or the YSL counter. And I could, convert the Chinese currency to US dollars, see what that would be. And then I could just go to Sephora or Nordstrom or Macy's or something and see how much it would be. And it was a huge price difference. So I was like, I'm not going to pay more to buy a fragrance in China that I could buy in the States for a lot cheaper. That was a little frustrating. So buying fragrances in China didn't make any sense if they were ones I could get elsewhere. But the ones that I could only find there, of course, that made sense, and I have a few of those. Back to Victoria's Secret. So I bought 2 there because they were among the fragrances that weren't more expensive in China. And this was not available, at least at the time that I bought the others, because I probably would have checked this out. I discovered this in an airport sometime later, and I love it. There is a Bare Rose, I think, another version of this that's got some different notes that I'm also curious about. But if I recall correctly, I tried both when I ran into this one, and this is the one that I liked the most. So the notes on this one are, according to Fragrantica, the only things listed are Australian sandalwood, violet, and mandarin orange. To me, I get the violet. I get like a warm, spicy, but a little bit light, a little sparkly. Maybe that's the citrus. And the dry down, I get the sandalwood. So it's like a little bit, maybe there's like a creamy powderiness to it. And it's a bit on the sexy side. Pretty warm. I wouldn't say necessarily this is a summertime fragrance, but it also could be. This could be just like a year-round nice fragrance. I think I'll probably put this away until it gets a little cooler. To me, this smells, now don't get mad at me if I'm wrong, but if I recall correctly, this smells a little bit like the Clean Reserve Skin fragrance, I think. My memory serves me correctly. Anyway, I don't have that one, but I've smelled it. I like it. And this one is a little reminiscent of that to me, from my memory. But I would recommend, if you run into this one, try it. This, to me, stands out a little bit from some of the other Victoria's Secret ones, and I'm a fan. The next is Valentino Donna Born in Roma Yellow Dream. I have wanted one of the Born in Roma fragrances since I went to Rome a while ago. I did not buy one when I was there. I didn't love the original enough to get it. And then people were raving about the Intense, and that was nice. But I still didn't get it. But I just wanted to get my hands on one. Just sentimental reasons. This one was on the ship. I could finally have my Born in Roma. Anyway, eventually I tried this one on the ship, and this was interesting. So it opens like bright and very citrusy. Like it's almost so citrusy that it's just on the line for something I would actually like. It's like refreshing and bright and citrusy. But I don't love fragrances that are too citrus, that are citrus and stay citrus. So this would have been a no, except it develops into this really pretty, like floral, musky fragrance with the citrus that keeps it bright. So the only notes listed are lemon, rose, and white musk. And what I get when this settles down is a florally musky, bright fragrance. I think it's really pretty. If there's a fragrance that's got musk and rose, there's a good chance I'm going to be into it. And there's a few other notes that are similar. But I love this. I love this. I was pleasantly surprised by the brightness of it. I was pleasantly surprised that the citrus like calmed down to something really well blended, nice and fresh. This is kind of a warmer weather fragrance, I think, just based on my first impressions of it, but I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to wear it now, and I'm going to keep it out for a little while, even as it gets a little colder, and see what I think. But I would recommend, if you haven't tried it, try Born in Roma Yellow Dream, and I think you might like it too. And last but not least, I have Scandal Absolue. This is a 2024 launch, newest from the line. I did not know that this was out. I don't know where I've been. I don't know how I missed it, but I really like the Scandal line. I have one of them. I thought it was the original, but I talked about it in one of my videos, and somebody, I don't have the box anymore. Somebody left me a comment and said, that's not Scandal, that's Scandal by Night, maybe? So, whoops, sorry. It bears a lot of resemblance to the original. I don't know how I landed on that one, but it's got this beautiful honey intenseness that, love. Here we are, guys. Here we are. Boy, oh boy, what a beauty. Okay, it's got the Scandal legs. Love those. It's such a funny bottle. And this one has like an ombre, I don't know if you would call that ombre, but it's got like a thicker gold, more opaque gold that gets more and more translucent or transparent as it gets to the top, and then as you get past kind of the Scandal logo, it's clear. Okay, the notes in this are tuberose, black fig, sandalwood. That's what's listed. This is a sweet tuberose perfume. It is thick, it is heavy, it is going to be a cold weather fragrance for me. It's not honey sweet, but it is sweet. I think it's really pretty. I think it's definitely different from the original enough to have both, or whatever version of it I have. And I would recommend trying it. The fig as a note, and not just like a sweetness, comes out not in the opening, but as it develops. I get a burst of heavy floral and sweet, like right off the top. There's not a bright citrusy something opening. It's like heavy on you, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's like intense at the beginning. And then kind of the fig nuance and the sweetness that it gives and the fruitiness develops. And then it all comes together and settles down to like a warmer, slightly spicy, woody, pretty, sweet, heavy fragrance. Can't wait to wear this in the cold weather. Can't wait to wear this and compare it more and more to the one that I've already got. Super happy that I stumbled on this. Check out Scandal Absolute Jean Paul Gaultier. All right, that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you will stick around, subscribe, leave a comment, like the video. Be blessed. I'll see you next time.